So thank you, David, for being here. And just to kind of give the background, we are providing these videos for LaunchLab clients, and LaunchLab is our Applied Innovation Center at WVU, and we like to let our clients know what resources are available to them around the state for anywhere from ideation to commercialization. So we're going to be talking about the manufacturing process. And so David, let me start by asking you, because you are with WVU Industrial Extension, describe a little bit for us what that is.
So with WVU being a land-grant institution, industrial extension is one of the ways the university gives back to the community. The industrial extension is housed in the Statler College of Engineering and Mineral Resources at WVU, and we're also West Virginia's affiliate to the NIST MEP National Network. That MEP National Network is a nationwide program of centers tasked with supporting the manufacturing community throughout the country. So we kind of have a unique arrangement where we work at a state level. We focus on the manufacturing footprint in West Virginia, but we also have a national network that we can tap and reach out to for things that we may not be able to assist with internally. A lot of the work that we do focuses on one-on-one, hands-on education, helping manufacturers grow, succeed, and sustain their businesses in West Virginia. Some of that includes anything from workforce, developing training instructions, work instructions, occupational health and safety to ensure everybody goes home with the same fingers, toes, and limbs they showed up with. That even goes deeper to look at things like industrial hygiene, the noise exposure, maybe any dust or air particulates are exposed to. Pretty much anything that OSHA requires to be safe, we can help companies accomplish those goals. We also work in quality management systems where we'll develop an ISO quality system, which is a worldwide standard for quality to make sure your products are meeting what your vendor wants or your customer wants. Some of that ties into continuous improvement or the lean manufacturing methodologies that people may have read about, helping companies become more efficient. From the lean perspective, we also get into Industry 4.0 with a lot of the new cutting edge technologies coming out with robotics, augmented virtual reality, big data, additive manufacturing, and several other really interesting things that are going to pretty much put us into the fourth industrial revolution. And also some of the other things we work on, leadership training. You know, all these programs that we provide and develop are great, but you need to have the leaders that can drive them to make that process easier. So from that list, very well-rounded, a lot of different things that we can do to support manufacturing for pretty much any corner, any avenue that they need.
Yeah, that's great. And our students, you know, in the Launch Lab, our students are coming through, a lot of them with prototyping, and they even, you know, once they get that proof of concept, are looking to do small batch manufacturing. Are there manufacturers in the state of West Virginia that you can help students work with or find so that they can get manufacturing assistance?
Absolutely. One of the perks of our program is that we've been around for quite a while. And I'm sure there's probably a couple, but I'd say blanket statement that there's not many manufacturers in the state that we don't know or haven't talked to. So with West Virginia having a smaller manufacturing footprint than some states, it's really easy to connect with everybody and understand what they're doing and what their capabilities are. And again, being part of the university through the industrial extension, we're that bridge between the university and the manufacturing community. So if they have an idea or a prototype they need, they can come to us. We'll talk to them about it, maybe give them some advice on how to make it a little more manufacturable, because we all have several years of that we want to talk about of industry experience. And then we can connect them with a company that would be a good fit and would be willing to help them.
What are some examples of manufacturers in the state, Dave? Because I know there's some cool ones here that people probably haven't heard of or maybe don't know these products come from West Virginia.
Sure. So one of my favorite ones most people will probably know is Fiestaware. They're really colorful plates, dishes, flatware. That's all made in the Northern Panhandle in Chester, West Virginia at the Fiesta Tableware Company. You wouldn't know unless you drove by. Some other really interesting stuff, Seafoam is a company that spun out of Touchstone Research Laboratories in Triadelphia. They're doing some really crazy stuff with coal dust, turning it into insulation and other types of products for lightweighting. Thinking about some other things, Wingcore Windows in Parkersburg. The windows in your house probably came from one of their plants. They supply Home Depot, Lowe's, all the major manufacturers. Thinking about some other areas, Smooth Ambler Spirits is a distillery in the Maxwellton area that's doing a lot with that industry. Mullican Flooring in also in Ronceverte, West Virginia. They provide hardwood flooring that you probably have in your house. So there's a lot of stuff that we see, a lot of off the wall things that you wouldn't think about came from right here in West Virginia. One of the other big ones that shocked me recently was Alcon Laboratories in Huntington. If you have cataract surgery, the lens that they put in your eye was manufactured in Huntington. So that's been one of the really cool perks of this job is you see all these companies and you don't realize what you touch in your daily life that came right here from West Virginia.
I know, and I think that's so important to let our students know in the community, because there are some, and I learn all the time how many manufacturers there are here in this state, and I'm always amazed that you don't hear about them that often. So it's pretty incredible. So Dave, based on your years of experience, if you were to give advice to our students who come through the Launch Labs or some of the other innovation centers at WVU, and they want to manufacture a product, what sort of advice would you offer to them as they're going through the process?
When you're looking to manufacture something, the WVU has a great ecosystem for innovation. I've been learning more and more about it over the last handful of months, and I'm beyond impressed with what the university does. Once you come out of those areas and you're ready to manufacture, just think about how it's going to be made, who you're going to sell it to, and how much you want to pay for it, what that price point is, because that's what's really going to determine your manufacturing cost. You need to look and see how you're going to design it, if that cost, that money to manufacture is going to turn into profit for you on the other side of it. And if not, look at your design, think about ways to modify it, think about ways to improve it, kind of go back to the drawing board and look at an alternative idea just to see what's out there. Because when you talk about manufacturability, that's the biggest cost you have. So if the product can't be manufactured at a price point you want, we need to go back and look at how we can accomplish that. And that's some of the stuff that the industrial extension can help with as well. We understand students coming out of these programs, they have great ideas, and those ideas are amazing. That's what we need to have for entrepreneurship and development. But it takes a while to understand manufacturability and being in industry for a while to know what the tricks of the trade are, for lack of a better term. So we can get involved and help them with that to understand how it's going to be made and to make sure there's somebody here in the state that can do it for us.
Yeah, and that's great. And that's what we run into a lot with students is they'll have wonderful, prototypes. And we do most of our prototyping on 3D printers, just something to kind of get a proof of concept down. But when it comes to materials and manufacturing, that's where, we really do need that partnership, because that takes students to the next level, right? You can only go so far with a prototype until you have the real manufactured product that you can test out. Really takes them to the next level, and we want to keep everything as much local as we can.
Absolutely. To me, that, and having some background in innovation and product development, that's the most exciting part to me, is getting that real prototype in your hands. The additive work is fantastic. The metal machines, the new plastic machines, they're producing production ready parts. But when you get that real part, that real product in your hand, that's what you're going to sell to somebody, that's when you've made it. To me, that's the most exciting part of it. You see all your dreams, all your hard work come to fruition at that point.
Absolutely. Well, we have about a minute left. Is there anything else that we need to know, or anything else that you would recommend for students as they're moving through this manufacturing process?
The only thing I can say is feel free to reach out to us at any time, at any point in the process. Like I said, the manufacturability is something you always have to look at with a new product to determine the cost and make sure you can make what you actually want to make. So anytime through the process, feel free to reach out to myself, anybody on our team. We're always happy to help, and we're always happy to pull on our network, whether it's in-state or out-of-state, to help get students a little further along with their ideas and see them come to market.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave, so much for this information. It's really valuable.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.